we're here with Corey Davis and his 85mm 1.4, and you definitely don't shoot cars with it, but you're mainly a car photographer, right? So where can they check out your website?
CoreyDavis.photography. You could put the WW in there if you want. But...
Yep. And then Instagram too?
Yep, it's at Lighthunter, but it's spelled LGHTHNTR.
Yeah, cool. Go to his website, check out tons of his car photos on Pikes Peak. He is taking some portraits of Von Miller also with his cars. So if you're a car enthusiast, it's a great place to check out some of his work. Yeah, so let's get into this 85mm. It's mostly a portrait lens, and is that what you use it for, I guess?
Yeah, so
it's kind of an awkward question. But
I kind of use this thing for a little bit of everything. I love the way it renders photos. The bokeh is awesome on it. I have shot some cars with it, just kind of pulled back, and it just kind of like makes the car pop.
Yeah.
I use it for product photography, lots of portraits.
And that's the 85-1.4, right?
Correct. The
So
85-1.4 G.
A lot of bokeh out of that.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool lens. A little hefty, but you kind of get used to it after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too heavy. I used to shoot the Canon 85mm 1.2, and that thing was a lot heavier than this. It seems like
it was wider too. Like
I think
like
Canon's definitely.
I think it was a 72 thread size, but the middle was really big.
How much is this lens?
I want to say it's around $1,200. I got it for a steal on Craigslist.
That's actually still pretty good for a lens that's.
Yeah. Might be a little bit more than that. I can't think.
Yeah, and if you do portraits, this is kind of your bread and butter. So.
Yeah, you kind of need that if you're going to work with people a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you're working with people. Probably the first thing you want to look for in a lens is bokeh quality. How's the bokeh on this? Is it nice and smooth? I know nothing about Nikon.
It's super smooth. It's very creamy, if you will.
yeah. And then on your D800, does it resolve enough? Are you pretty happy with the resolution that's coming out of it?
Definitely.
And it's still pretty sharp though.
Yeah, it's depending on, sometimes it's a little bit fuzzy, but for the most part, it's pretty tack sharp. You can always just stop down a half stop and it comes right back.
Knock it down to like f2. I remember when I was shooting the 85-1.2 with Canon, I would definitely stop it down to like f2 a lot.
Yeah.
Like that, the 1.4 is nice, but you don't really shoot it that much.
Right.
That often.
Nice. So yeah, what else can you tell us about this lens? Like, are there any downsides to it or anything?
The only real thing that I've kind of heard about is its cheaper brother, the 1.8. It's apparently sharper, and especially out on the outside, but that doesn't really bother me
in a portrait lens, like
yeah.
if you're mostly shooting portraits on it, then what do you care so much?
Yeah.
How's it do when you shoot it in the sun? Does it flare a lot?
It does flare.
So you got some flare on it. Is it pretty flares, like the kind you like want to deliver, or do you avoid it?
I like the flares it renders. They're cool.
Yeah. Do you ever use it with the hood, or you use it without the hood a lot? Or?
Mostly without the hood.
Oh, cool. So it's pretty
it's opposite. So I'm like used to Canon and Sony.
Everything's it's all
almost broke your lens. I'll try not to break it today. The last video thumbnail was one of these. So definitely just have to do that for the thumbnail.
There's the little aperture right there.
There's I see that there's two switches. What are these? Is it image stabilized?
This is just, it switches between manual and auto, and then manual.
But it's not image stabilized.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it focused by wire? If you do the manual focus, or is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it has to be connected and on.
Yep.
Can you describe maybe one of your favorite photos that you've taken with this lens?
I shot some cool shots of my girlfriend. Just some portraits. We shot them outside, just all natural light, and she was like kind of in the shade, but the sun was hitting some leaves in the background, and it just made some really cool bokeh. I also like shooting anything with Christmas lights. We did some portraits of dogs. I just used like my little Godux LC 500 LED light and have some Christmas lights in the background, and they're nice and colorful back there.
Yeah, it probably does a really good job of separating your subject.
Absolutely.
A lot of depth of field. So.
Yeah. I think anybody looking at a Prime 85 might be debating this and a 70-200. I think you have both lenses, but if people are looking at this lens compared to the Nikon 70-200, like what would you kind of do? Do you have one that you like more?
I think it kind of comes down to portability and what your subject is. If you're shooting cars or something from a distance, the 70-200's that's what you're going to want. Let's say you're traveling and you want something a little bit lighter that still has some reach, I think that's a great option. And you get a little bit more light coming in there too, which is a bonus.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, a little bit more depth of field.
Yeah, it seems like a rocking lens.
Well,
links
yeah,
are-
and any other secrets that you can give the people out there on YouTube about this lens?
I like getting up a little bit closer because that way you really kind of get that bokeh coming
Yeah,
out.
does it have a pretty short minimum focus?
It does. I think it's about 3 feet.
Oh, so yeah, you get pretty up close.
Yeah.
Nice. Get like headshots almost.
Definitely.
That's
Alright.
good.
Well,
Yeah,
right
so
on.
like if somebody was to be searching that lens and they were going to compare it against the 1.8 version, that's marginally cheaper, or is it significantly cheaper?
I think this is the 1.8. It's a bit cheaper
Like
actually.
half price maybe.
Yeah.
So would it be worth that, especially if you're going to shoot at f2 a lot? I mean, does it make sense to have the 1.4?
It kind of depends. I like shooting wide open personally.
Yeah, still top at 1.4.
Yeah.
Especially
You gotta
on the
shoot
event
wide.
stuff and like if you're doing wedding stuff, you really need that.
For sure.
fast
I just like how it kind of renders the subject, kind of makes them pop. Depth of field is cool.
Yeah, great lens.
I'm a nerd too, so I don't know.
I rarely leave the house without an 85 if I'm working with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to talk about like whether a lens is like good for pixel peepers. So like there's like this YouTube audience of pixel peepers who like
Yes.
to zoom into 100%.
Yep.
And there's also maybe like a smaller portion of YouTube who is like all about the character lenses or Leicas and stuff like that. So this lens is for the pixel peepers. Would you say that? Or is it's like a good technical lens, or does it have more character?
I think it has more character, honestly. If you're a pixel
Oh,
peeper,
interesting. I thought you were going to go the other way.
it might be a little bit softer
Yeah.
than you'd like, but I think what it does for me, it's perfect.
Well, yeah, if you're a portrait photographer, I would definitely look into this lens from Corey's suggestions here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess that's it.